Good morning, friends, and welcome to November. Today I have a handful of things to do, and I'm going to try to get it all done in like an hour, hour and a half if I can. But first, we're just going to do a quick November garden tour, see what things are looking like. Most of it is right behind me because the hill has been put to bed. But the big item today is to plant this garlic. I have not grown garlic before. I have grown onions and things like that, but I have not grown specifically my own garlic, and I'm really excited. I did go ahead and buy seed garlic, which really the only difference between buying seed garlic and buying garlic from the grocery store and planting that is that it has been certified that it's disease free and that it comes in more varieties. So when you buy seed garlic, when I bought from this company, I had, I don't know, there was probably 25 varieties to choose from, but when you buy it at the grocery store, you're pretty much stuck with one variety. And it's always a soft neck variety, which ironically enough, when I finally got around to ordering my garlic, I convinced myself this is the year I'm going to try it. All the hard neck varieties were gone anyway, and it's fine that I got myself some nice Southern California varieties. And we'll get into that in a few minutes after I just show you around and we can see what's actually growing, and then hopefully the start of 2024's garden. Okay, so starting right behind where we were, this is just copious amounts of basil. If you watch my October tour, I showed you guys that I had planted some lettuce down here as well, and it's doing fine. We've got one of these is the bib, I think that's the bib, and this is the Hansen crisp head, which is being eaten by something. But I haven't been getting at this as much because this basil plant, when I let it go, has just kind of taken over. So we're definitely going to prune that back a bit today. This is snapdragons, which I think we might actually get some snapdragons off. Some just nice flowers. These are the San Marzanos. We're actually going to go ahead and rip these out today because this whole planter is where I want a good chunk of my garlic. So I want to plant hopefully about half the garlic right here. So the San Marzano's got to go, and then I don't know if those two flowers on the ends are going to be able to stay, but we'll find out. In here, all we have left is some flowers, all of the strawberries, which are looking great, and then just a handful of onions, which, as you can see, are very, very small, and I don't know if I have plans to leave those in there or take them out. Probably what I'll do is the next time I need onions for a recipe, I will just pull them. Back over to the patio, we have the mystery pepper from this year, which I'm probably gonna pull, but right now it's doing fine, so I'm leaving it. The jalapeno, not the jalapeno, that's the garlic bag there. Why do I always call this the jalapeno? The pineapple is doing fine. I know it looks like half dead, but that's the old pineapple down there, and these are the two new ones up top. Right here, we went ahead and planted some cilantro that you see peeking out from the back right here. And then this in the front is some kale, which I don't like to let the leaves get this big, so I might throw a couple of these big leaves into the compost. I like eating them when they're like this size, kind of like small. So this is not a variety that grows like huge and tall like most of the kale that I have grown in the past. Over here we just have a little sweet potato that I didn't have plans for it. I just shoved it in there because I could. These two peppers I've sort of let go. I kind of stopped watering them, but you guys, they just keep still giving me peppers. This is a perfectly good pepper, so I'm going to grab this actually right now. Why not? But you can see all the fruit here is withered. This is an overwintered one, and it's just gotten diseased, and it's not been happy. I could overwinter this one as well, but it didn't do the best, and I have another jalapeno plant that did really good that I'm going to keep. This isn't going to be it. Up here, I just yesterday came in and put in some seed back here for some green onions, which there's only two of right there, but those are from a while ago. Green onions, carrots, and one more of the little gem lettuce because I really like little gem. That's this one right here. More of the bib, I believe. Yeah, this is the bib lettuce, and this is the Hansen crisp head. I have, after eating all of these, I hands down much more prefer the little gem. It's a little bit sweeter. I put one more of those kale here. That's a Napa cabbage, which I don't know if that's going to be enough space. If anybody knows, you tell me. Some cilantro, basil, and another snapdragon. Over here we've got the lime tree that will not be doing anything. The chrysanthemums that are just like taking over. And then over here we have the Dancy Mandarin, which the mandarins on it are just starting to turn from that really dark, deep green to having just kind of a paler color. So I imagine in the next few weeks we'll start watching them turn, and then in a month or two we'll have a couple of mandarins. Okay, coming over to the hill, these are the zinnias, which, we stopped basically watering. They're doing okay. They're still spitting out zinnias. And the zinnias, these are kind of like newer, so they haven't fully opened, but they still look beautiful. But the plant itself is definitely showing signs of not being well watered. And then we just spread across the hill. There's just little bits of flowers everywhere. But this is the jalapeno plant I was telling you guys that this is what all the jalapenos looked like this year, and you can tell the difference. Like, it was just, and there's another one right here. We like to pick them when they're red though. So I think once I grab the last 2 jalapenos off of this, I am going to overwinter this and see if I can get that to produce similar size jalapenos next year, because my husband and I both really liked the jalapenos that came off of this one. They tasted really good. And then the rest of this area has all been put to bed. I've just been dumping compost in random places, so that's what that is. These tomato cages are stuck. So you see there's 3 tomato cages, and what this is, we have really heavy clay soil, and while the top probably 6 to 8 inches of this area is really nice soil, the bottom is very heavy clay, and so these are just going to be stuck in there until we get a good rain, which we're hopefully going to get next weekend. Everything up on the hill, so all of the trees are all put to bed basically for the winter. On the arch we still have some cherry tomatoes. You can see they just never stop here. So they're messy. I haven't cleaned them up. I honestly haven't been eating too many of them, but I've left them because there's no point in pulling them out. And so I'm just going to keep them up, and when I need a tomato, I have a fresh tomato. Behind the tomatoes here, everything has been put to bed. This is all just random compost that has been chucked in here, and that is what we're going to spread across the top of our garlic when we're done planting it. And this is just some hay straw mulch. The sunflowers are pretty much done, but you can tell just a couple of days ago this looked great. It bent over from the weight of having all of these sunflowers on it. So maybe we'll leave this one in and just chop the top off to get the weight off of this, but those looked really pretty. So that is it for the garden tour, and now let's get to planting some garlic. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is separate these heads of garlic into individual cloves. You want to leave the papers on, and I'm going to put them in separate baskets so that I don't mix them up. Oops. And if you're wondering, the 2 varieties I'm planting this year is the red toque, not sure how to say that, and the California Early. And these are both soft neck varieties, like I said before. And if I can get garlic this size, I'll be super excited. When you're planting garlic, you really want to be conscious of the size of the cloves that you're planting, because the size of the clove is directly related to the size of the garlic head that's going to grow from that clove. So the really teeny tiny cloves, I'm probably going to take those in size and use them for something, and that way I can kind of taste the difference between the 2 varieties. Oops. And then anything that I damaged with my fingernail, I'm going to keep those as well. Smells really good, but because it's probably just going to mold in the ground. I just cut that one. I don't know if you can see that, but I cut it with my fingernail. So we're going to take that out. That's still pretty good size. But this, for example, there's no point in planting that. And I don't even think that one is either. So I'm just going to put these in my pocket. Look at the size of these cloves though. I don't get garlic clove size like this in the grocery store. This one's really tight, it doesn't want to open. Oh my gosh. But look at the size of that garlic clove. Just for my my own note taking, the red talk, I only damaged one of them while opening them, and then the California early, I've got a couple that I damaged and then a bunch of little tiny ones. So, all right, labels are made. Okay, so the first place that I want to put the garlic is right here, coming up against this tomato cage behind this rose bush, because I'm not going to need to go in and out a lot, so behind a rose bush works perfect. But right now what we're going to need to do is pull all the irrigation out, rake the whole thing, and then add some amendments and some compost, and then I can plant the garlic. And then I have to go back over to the other bed with the San Marzanos. I've got to rip out all the San Marzanos and do the same thing. Just kind of loosen the soil a bit and add some amendments so that we can plant the garlic. So let's see how long this takes. We're just going to add some earthworm castings and some just balanced fertilizer. Okay, I switched over to using the harvest apron because there are a handful of tomatoes in here I want to try to grab and see if they'll ripen on the counter, and also because I just don't want to get super messy. See, those are starting to blush. I think those will ripen. California early on the left, Red Talk on the right. Alright, you want to face them with the pointy side facing up and about 6 inches apart and about 3 inches deep. So I'm just going to try to do half and half. Say cheese! All right, the garlic is all planted. I've got the stuff in the back hill. I've got this right here that I have mulched out. All I got around to really doing was pruning the basil because I am just tuckered. It got hot fast. So if you guys have any tips or tricks for getting this garlic to be as big as possible, let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'd say we made pretty good progress. So thank you so much for just hanging out today, and if you want to see more videos, feel free to subscribe, and I'd love to see you next month, which I don't know what December is going to look like, but we can find out together. All right, thanks friends. Bye.